Your hero sucks.
Getting this note from readers, audiences, or executives is tough to hear, partly because, at this point, we've spent months crafting our hero, the world around them, and the inner machinations of the story. And partly because, well, what does your hero sucks even mean? Today, we'll share with you what our writers did to remedy this note in our stories so that you don't have to waste months of writing and rewriting. Also, stick around to the end of the video for a gift. The reason why we got this note is two-pronged. First, it could be that we failed to design our hero appropriately from the start. Second, it could be our execution in the story, how we dramatized our hero. Either way, here are 5 ways we fixed both problems. Your hero might have one of these issues or all of them, so go down the list to see which fits. Our hero is the character that suffers the most conflict in the story. Stories are, fundamentally, all about emotion. Namely, emotional connection to our audience. If our audiences don't see our hero struggle, suffer, endure, and persevere, if they don't see them face conflict, they won't see them as a hero, and they won't want to follow them. No conflict, no hero. For example, a doll cursed with the need to kill people, except it is really, really bad at it. From this single point of conflict arises potentially endless story beats that will keep audiences engaged. Which segues into our next point. We realize we got this note because we didn't craft our hero to be human. We failed to have our audience relate to them on an emotional level. We realized that our audience didn't have to like our hero or even approve of their actions, but, and this is where the magic is, if they connected with our hero emotionally, our hero was accepted. For example, our cursed doll hero. Let's call him Finley. Finley wants to kill people. Something that I hope most, if not all of us, won't approve of. Except, we can relate to Finley and his disappointment in himself whenever he fails, in the frustration he feels when all his planning has gone to waste, in the humiliation he feels when his would-be victims shame him for it. We stop seeing Finley as a wooden doll and see him as a human. When our readers told us your hero sucks, we realized that they may have been touching on the why of our hero. As storytellers, we had failed to make clear the conflict of the story, but also the decisions our hero was making. Our audience didn't understand why our hero was deciding to zig instead of zag. We'd severed the connection between our hero and our audience because the audience couldn't see themselves making the same decisions our hero was. For example, Finley, we know he wants to kill people. So when he decides to put rat poison in people's food, we understand that decision. If Finley, for example, decided to betray his character and not try to kill people, our audience would lose the connection with Finley due to the logical inconsistency. This failing was an eye-opening one for us, and it came down to a single word: stakes. When we got the "Your hero sucks" note, we realized that we'd failed to both establish our hero as capable, as in they have a chance at succeeding, and the stakes, namely the question, what happens if our hero fails? In our case, we had made it too easy for our hero to achieve their goal. They were too competent. And our audience didn't need to have faith in our hero because they knew our hero would win. They didn't fear for them or hope they'd survive. For Finley, he wants to kill people, but he's really, really bad at it. Sure, he has a chance, but it's clearly a slim one. So, hilariously, the audience wants to see him kill people, but they don't know for sure if he can. They have faith and hope that he will, ironically, but they don't know for certain, and that's what keeps them tethered to Finley. Our final realization was around subversion. We realized that our hero was too generic. We'd accomplished the first step in our simple storytelling process, to start with an archetype, but we'd failed to add our own unique twist to the archetype. For example, Finley is a cursed doll, much like Chucky, Annabelle, and 100 other cursed doll archetypes. What made Finley unique was that he was hilariously bad at the one thing the writers designed him for, which made him that much more lovable despite his stab-horrific goal. And this brings us to today's gift to you. Finley is a hilarious, award-winning horror comedy by Zachary Thurman and Maddie Stroud. It does the challenging job of combining not only two genres, but genres that are on the opposite end of the spectrum, and does so masterfully. If you're not one of the 4.4 million people who've seen it, we highly recommend you see this incredible short and follow the creator's work. Everything you need is in the description. Thank you so much for supporting our channel. We'll catch you in the next video.